Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Level Up Report, Episode 1, where we talk about gaming news, gaming trends, and anything gaming related. Today, we're going to talk about the Google Stadia and the Sony Microsoft collab, the Bethesda game quality Rage 2 already on sale, the hype for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Square Enix's long development cycles. And finally, CD Projekt Red addresses the Cyberpunk 2077 crunch. So for Stadia, it's a new game streaming service from Google that does not depend on any hardware to play games. It can play on Pixel smartphones or Chromecast Ultra devices to stream games through Google Chrome. And this will only work currently on Wi-Fi connections that have a speed of 25 megabits per second. So, Kuma, what do you think about Stadia so far?
Well, this is exciting. It's a new technology for the future, and I'm interested in what they're going to bring to the table, how this new competition will progress gaming as a whole. But with new technology and with Google, it does bring us some questions on what to expect from them. Google has a strange track record about user information. I'm not sure what is the policy, but they have some strange stories behind them. But however, with their funding into the gaming industry, I want to see how it affect everything as a whole. Looking over the notes, Apple is also jumping on board as well. Um, they're looking to buying Sony. I'm not sure if it's a rumor or will be true, but that's really exciting. What do you think? Oh,
Right
what's
now,
your
it's a
thoughts on it?
rumor. The Apple thing, it's not concrete, but Apple's been looking to buy Sony for a while, which doesn't really make a lot of sense because an American company buying a Japanese company, not a normal thing, but it could happen
Okay.
if they want to put more of a foothold in the gaming stratosphere. And I think Stadia needs to be in the hands of like general public because right now all we have is the announcement, and they say it should work with 25 megabits per second. So they say you don't need that much internet, and it should be seamless when you switch over to any device. But I think people need to get their hands on it before we can honestly make a judgment call if they're just talking out of their butts or maybe actually what they're saying is true.
Well, every industry, every big company has their marketing team. Um, you know, increasing the hype machine, and we've been duped many, many times already. So I don't have high expectation for Google. I just have high hopes they do the right thing. And if the government has to get involved because industry practices has been pretty, strange lately, then I probably will need it in a certain way. Um, let's talk about the controller then, because Google is not selling a system; they're selling a service,
Right.
but they're also bringing along their own controller. What is your thoughts on the controller?
I haven't seen it, so
Oh, you
it's
haven't seen the trailer?
I've seen the trailer,
No.
but I haven't actually seen I don't remember what it looks like. Like if it
Well,
looks any different.
they're going with white color scheme. The size of it looks like an Xbox. Honestly, it looks kind of bulky. I don't know how it feels, if it's ergonomic or not, or if they have all the buttons to make it a pro competitive controller. I still gonna stick with my PS4 controller. I think hands down, it feels nice. It fits in my hand.
Yeah. I think they said the Stadia controller is wireless. I think it's only wireless. But
Wireless, not Bluetooth.
I don't know if it's Bluetooth. I think they said something where there's like some bonuses if you use their Stadia controller, like they'll have better response time or something. I could be talking about it but right now, but I remember them mentioning something along
Yeah,
those
something
lines.
about it connect directly to the server, so it lowers latency or something like
Well,
that.
that's what it was. Yeah. Okay.
So I guess that's just one of the ways to market towards competitive gaming. But who do you know and around the world that will always have consistent 25 megabyte? 25 megabyte isn't a much, so it's a big I don't know how you say it, big proposal, on their part.
It's. I want to say it's a very ambitious product, honestly, because what you're asking is for people to have this amount of Wi-Fi speeds. Let's be honest, Wi-Fi speeds are a lot slower than like having an Ethernet cable and just doing it from there. So it's a little weird that they can only do it on over Wi-Fi, and I'm not a huge fan of that. Since like I have a pretty good wired connection, not so great at wired Wi-Fi.
Well, I
I don't
just
know.
know that Wi-Fi is all over, it's scatter, so the accessibility is really high. If they could find a way to work with um, internet providers on that front, maybe they could work something out and increase the bandwidth for everyone, and then maybe find a system that connects everything and make it more I don't know, spread out. So then it will cover everyone, I feel.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm honestly just a little bit worried because it's Google that's making it, like you said.
Hmm.
So they don't have the greatest track record for privacy and just everything in general. They've just had a lot of negative press associated with them for the past few years. So them coming
Well,
into this just raises some concerns for people.
well, after the crackdown of Facebook, bring them to court about their user, you know, taking the user's data and misleading information, maybe the government will spread their more regulation towards this industry as well, which includes the loot boxes and microtransaction. We shall see what the future holds.
Maybe. But going from that, we actually had a Sony Microsoft collab that just was announced not about a week ago.
Oh yes, you're right. You're right.
So actually, most of the Sony's gaming team didn't even know about it. Kind of funny. You think about it. And it's actually rumored to be a cloud gaming like team up, which a lot of people think of it as a response to Stadia's announcement because they just came out and said it, and actually, not a lot of people were aware of this whole thing.
Well, I think it's a perfectly normal response because Sony is, I mean, apologize, Google is a really big company with a lot of funding, and they already when they announced their product, they had a working demo. It works seamlessly, and that scares everyone. Usually, a demonstration will be like a trailer, nothing really physical that you can see and hold, but Google actually did it. They show everyone that it worked. They went from one type of device to another type of device, from handheld cell phones to a laptop to a desktop, extremely just changing the gameplay. Just it transitions so well without any lag of differences. So I see why Sony and Microsoft are so scared. This is a big competition, and with the trend, everything's digitalized, and PC gaming, everything is on a platform. So with Stadia introducing itself, it's like that service. It's like Steam with a controller.
Yeah, I guess so. But do you think console exclusive would be over from this team up?
um, Console exclusive. Well, I don't think it'll be over. I think Sony and Microsoft gonna fight really hard to keep their position in the industry.
They'll still do the
Uh,
exclusives.
I'm sure, unless Google gonna do pull one over like Epic did and make it like buying buying like exclusive rights, offering these developers something really awesome, or like subsidizing the cost and risks. that's the only way I could see all the developers going to Google and going under like a year exclusive contract or something like that.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's a interesting idea because you wouldn't have thought they would actually do stuff together.
I
It's
exactly. I thought they've been the longest rival since early 2000s,
right.
since ever since Microsoft announced Xbox.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But
Well, my only worry that is that physical disc might disappear because everything is about cloud gaming. Everything will be up in the air. There's nothing physical no more. That would be my only worry for the future.
as I've just gotten older, I just appreciate physical copies more. Just because of all the things that could happen with digital. Like, yeah, sure. Like, if you have a physical, yeah, your CD could scratch, or you could break, or you could lose it. But with digital, you could, like, they could just ban your account or anything, and you could just
Hmm.
lose it forever. Everything.
Or or take a poet if the company goes under. Like for example, the team that did The Walking Dead, Telltale, was it Telltale?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I heard that a lot of the games getting pulled and will
Oh,
be
was that
forever
recent?
gone. Yeah, I just bump into it this morning. Not
Oh,
sure if it's true or not, but it's out there.
that sucks.
Yeah, that does suck. So I mean, a lot of games we're losing a lot of games because no one could really distribute it. The only way to really save games will be physical copies in mint condition.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see. Even still in the digital age. I mean, now we're just moving into the cloud gaming and everything. But yeah,
It's
it's
exciting, but scary.
yeah. But moving on to our next topic, Rage 2 is already on sale within about a week since it got released. And I actually wanted to talk more, like, a little bit about Rage 2 and also about Bethesda games in general, just right now. But Rage 2 is actually selling a lot worse than Rage 1, which is pretty surprising since I don't think Rage 1 was marketed that much, and I don't think anyone was really impressed by it. Because I know I played it, and it wasn't anything special. It was just like a Mad Max kind of game, like post-apocalyptic. Honestly, I don't really remember anything that stood out to me about it.
Rage 1 came out for the previous generation, PS3 and Xbox 360, right?
I think so.
Okay. So I never played the game, never really heard of it either. Not really sure why they rebooted it, try and release a sequel. Is it in response to Far Cry 5 New Dawn?
I don't think so. If
Seemed familiar because it's so colorful.
maybe I don't. Hard to say because I feel like it's trying to be like Mad Max, like serious tones and everything like that. But it's also trying to be like I was actually thinking of. I guess it could be like Far Cry, like characters, but I was also thinking of like kind of Borderlands esque characters
Oh, okay.
where they're just a little wacky and crazy and everything like
Okay.
that. But then it's also trying to have the Doom like shooting quality. So it's like at least three games in one.
Okay.
And
So they try to take everything that's good and put it into one, but they didn't really stick or like mix well together.
I don't think it did, because right now it's got mediocre reviews all across the board. And
Okay.
yeah,
Mediocre.
Walmart's already discounted it, so it's $50 permanently. So it's just $10 off
I
immediately.
see. I don't know. I might pick it up. It looks kind of fun. Maybe I guess we just have way too much of a high expectation for games these days. Because I mean, the gameplay is open world. You shoot things, you gather things. Maybe you have a linear story as well. It sounds like any other game out there, any
Right.
other game. So mediocre reviews is appropriate. I think
Yeah, it's just
people
like
just
it just It just exists. Like it's there. It's not a
Yeah.
terrible game. It's not an amazing game. Right in the middle.
But maybe another reason why it's doing so bad because maybe Bethesda published it because they do have a really bad track record of this year of this as of this year.
Oh, you think because of Fallout 76 that caused
Hmm.
them to get people to be like, I don't know about this.
Could be because obviously 76 and Rage 2 is completely different games.
I also
But
think it might be there's been like a lack of advertising for Rage 2. Like I didn't
uh,
even know about the game until it got released and I was like, "Oh, this came out."
no,
I
it
completely
actually
forgot about it.
it wasn't much marketing, but they threw in a good huge surprise once it was leaked. It was leaked through maybe a Walmart or some one of these big like stores ads for Black Friday. It was leaked. So after the leak, they just threw in a trailer, a little trailer to showcase that the game is real, it's there, like maybe a week afterwards. So it got some news, got some attention, it got some hype. I guess it's just not what people wanted,
Right.
or people just want a little bit more, you know.
Maybe.
Hmm.
But
But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, a discount doesn't hurt me. It actually works in my favor. Works for the consumer's favor. It just hurts the developers. That's all.
I just
I'll give it a
think
shot once
yeah,
it get a little cheaper.
it looked like something I would be into, but I don't know. I'll try it
Well,
eventually when it's heavily on sale, but right now I'm just like I'm good where I am. I don't need
yeah.
to play it right now.
But tell you one thing. This is a single player game. No loot boxes that I know of. So, right? No loot
That
boxes.
shouldn't be a thing that we have to look for like nowadays for games. Is like it doesn't have microtransactions. Like that's a terrible
Well,
thing to have to watch out for now.
Well, that's the industry. Industry is working towards this way, and Bethesda basically set this all up with their horse armor. You know, back at Oblivion. Is it Oblivion?
It was Oblivion, yeah. That was a
So,
huge sticking point for that game, yeah. That was bad.
so it's
But
biting everybody in the ass.
yeah, I mean, it didn't help them that Fallout 76 is just completely riddled with microtransactions and it looks honestly it looks awful. Like graphics wise, it looks terrible. It looks like Fallout 3.
Well, it was a lazy cut and paste,
It was
and
a
they
money grab.
charge everyone full fucking price. Full fucking price for a broken game. Um, well, maybe this is karma for Bethesda.
Do you think they can pick it up with their new games, Elder Scrolls 6 and was that other space game, the new IP?
Starlink?
Starfield? Starlink? No, Starlink is something else.
Oh, is it Starfield?
I think it's Starfield. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, look at Ridge 2. Like, brand new game, and this happened. And Bethesda next games will be from them. It will be from they're gonna be the one developing it. So I don't know. I have no idea. I have low expectation as of right now because like every Fallout since Fallout 4 was wasn't that great.
I mean, there's only been one, but yeah, I get what you mean. I think ever since New Vegas, for me, it's just been going downhill. I really didn't like Fallout 4. I thought it barely felt like an RPG, and but the shooting was a lot better.
Well, New Vegas wasn't developed by them either. They
Right,
just published
but
it.
it was using the same engine, so it still felt like a Fallout game. It still felt like Fallout 3. They just used the same engine and everything. It's just that the writing was different and everything. Because it was made by Obsidian Entertainment. And to be honest, New Vegas is my favorite Fallout game.
Okay. Never really played it. It was one of my games in my bucket list to complete. Well, it's a bad time for these big industry that practice heavy poor predatory predatory practices. So it's a bad time for these companies.
I think they're paying for it now. I think just people who play these games, or maybe they follow it. I think they're finally caught on, just
To the
putting their foot
tricks.
down about it.
Hmm.
I hope. I keep saying like I hope that people learn. Is like I think they are finally starting to. There's like enough of people. I say that, but
Well,
then you have all these bigger companies saying they had their most successful year last year. So I guess not.
we'll see. I mean, they definitely got the government's attention. The senators trying to pass laws about regulating anything that has microtransaction, predatory practices, especially towards children.
Right.
So we'll see. We'll see what will happen. But
Yeah.
they do need to like chill and relax and calm down.
I don't
Go
think
back
that's
to the
possible.
old ways. Yeah, I know they got too greedy. They got a taste of gold, that blood. They want more.
I think they're used to that now. They're like, we made so much money, we can't stop now. They're hooked on it. They're like, it's funny because people get hooked on like gambling things and everything, but I think they're hooked on making these things. They can't stop now because they saw how much money it makes for all these companies.
Yeah, and I feel like also the consumers need to practice more self-control. It's just close. Chill with the close. You don't need to know. You don't need all that stuff to really enjoy the game.
Well,
Just
looking
relax.
cool is more useful than actually doing more damage or anything. Just looking good. But this brings us into the hype for Final Fantasy VII Remake, which they just released a trailer week, I think.
Yeah, it's been a while since they have another trailer. It looks dope as hell. It looks good. They kept up the same visual, the same action sequence since the earlier trailer. The only problem is it's just a fucking trailer.
Right.
Where where's the game?
They
It's
did
been a
show a little bit of gameplay, like they were showing Barrett and Cloud versus the machine, in the Shinra reactor, but
yes, they
it looked
did.
really scripted.
I'm sure. Like think back on their history. Final Fantasy versus 13 versus, which became Final Fantasy 15. They also have like action, sequence and stuff like that. It never became the same game. Long development time, and this is going what? How many years has it been since they announced this game? 2015. It's 2019 now,
And they
right?
didn't
Is it
even put a
middle?
release date. They just said, "Hey, we're still." This trailer was only just to remind people that they're still alive about it. It's like, "Hey, we're still working on this." But I'll be honest, these graphics remind me of if you ever seen the Final Fantasy Advent Children, it looks like that. Like
Well,
graphics. Not in a bad way, but it looks
no,
really
no,
good.
it's good, but you gotta keep in mind that graphics. The movie was released in 2004, so it's nothing to be really, I don't know, excited about. They could do better. I think they could do better.
Yeah.
I think they could do better. But if it helped them save money and help them release the product faster, I don't mind. I think the graphics looks good the way it is. Like I'm classic Final Fantasy players. Fuck, they could bring back the blockiness. I'll still play it.
They could okay. What they could do is have like a costume change and then bring it back so you could play as the original like blocky characters. Because
You
I
like
know a
how they did with
bunch of
Tomb
characters
Raider,
do that.
right?
Yeah, Tomb Raider. You could play as the original Lara Croft, like in an original game.
That's a good idea. I think they could do it because Square Enix also published the Tomb Raider series, so maybe they could pull that and use that idea. I see why not. But I'll be pissed as hell if they're gonna be, hey, this is a DLC you have to buy for this, blocking this. I'd be so pissed for that. I can see them doing it. I
I
can
wouldn't
see them
put it
doing
past Square Enix, honestly. They get a little greedy at times.
it. They're getting there. They're getting there. Like I heard that their previous game, Do X, I'm not sure which one
Deus
is
Ex.
yeah, one of the modern ones has a lot of microtransaction in it,
Oh,
and it
that's Deus Ex Mankind Divided. That's the only one
So
that has microtransactions.
so they did put their foot into that, practices. So
It was a
you
very
know,
dirty foot, let me tell you, because they added ways that you can buy these things called practice points, which are basically level up points or skill points, and they can let you buy it. So you're basically buying skill points in a single player RPG, which honestly felt really dirty to me. I was like, this is a really bad idea.
yes, but let's go back to the release announcement. So, do you think it will be released for the PS4 anytime soon, or
No,
will it be for the PS5,
I think it's
strictly for the
PS5.
PS5? Okay.
I don't think it's gonna be PS4.
No?
I I don't even think it's gonna get released in like 2 years even. I don't even
Do
think it'll
you
do
see?
that. I think it'll get released in about 3 or 4 years from now.
Well, they did recently finish from Kingdom Hearts, so all their attention is in this game right now. Hopefully. So hopefully something will be done. Um, but I'm still excited. I'm still hopeful. But I don't think they're gonna get my first like day one purchase though. I'm gonna wait. I learned my lesson with Final Fantasy 15. I bought it day one, then they release all the extra shit. It's incomplete. Well, they gonna release it in 3 different discs, I believe. Like,
It's three games. I don't know if they're pricing it at $60 each, but if they
I
did, that'd be super scummy.
I think they will. I think they will. This industry is just so hungry for money now.
So you'd
I think they
play
are.
the remake over again, just have it upres and whatever they add to it, and then you pay what, $180 just to play the game you played when you were a kid.
Keep in mind that this is only base. You don't know what all the other fucking DLC it will include. So I'm sure it will cost much, much more. But I'm gonna wait for a collection to be released by them. Then I will purchase it. I just gotta hold off on it. I don't mind waiting. I waited so long already. I could wait another 20 years, right?
By the time this whole thing comes out, we'll be 50 at least. And we'll just forget about it.
Well, I just hope this is a reimagining of the story, so there will be some changes in it. They won't change like the main story, but they probably will like flesh out some more details for the characters, some side characters, maybe like
Maybe
the
side
city's
quests for
location.
the like Yuffie or
Uh-huh.
something.
Uh-huh. So I'm sure they're gonna do that. So I'm excited for those little changes. I just hope they don't, I don't know, screw up because they have something to work on already.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if it's anything like the Resident Evil 2 remake, I'll be happy with it.
Yeah.
Because they didn't change too much, but it still felt like Resident Evil.
Okay.
So if they could do that, I think everyone will be happy with it. Except for the really doubters, like, you didn't like remake it exactly how Final Fantasy 7 was. So I was like, well, if you want that, you could just go play the original game, because you don't need to play this.
The turn-based system, right?
Right.
Versus the free action roaming.
But yeah.
Yeah, I just can't wait to see what Tifa looks like.
I think everyone wants to know what she looks like. I know I do. But this brings us to our final topic about CD Projekt Red and the Cyber 2077 crunch. So they talked about how they're trying to avoid it as much as possible, and honestly, I think this is just a reaction to how many game companies and like the employees in it have just been reporting that, hey, we're being severely overworked and just to get these products out. And I think it's just CD Projekt Red just trying to cover their butts. As much as I like them, I just think they're just trying to save themselves from getting a lot of crap thrown their way.
I agree. Lately they've been giving a lot of praise because of their high quality games, like games that's free from all these bad practices, like predatory practices. Uh, really good DLCs from the Witcher 3 product. So I think they just want to keep up that positive vibe, but they can't really get away from industry practices. I'm sure this is spread across every development team,
Oh,
not just
absolutely. They've already said, like, during The Witcher 3, they had to do crunch, and they even said it in a kind of a not such a good comment to say, but they say that game crunch is normal for these things, and it's not for everyone. Which it's true that it does exist, and it really isn't for everyone, but it shouldn't exist, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I definitely agree. They should put in better a better system for the employees for their health. You know,
Well, they say
so
they're improving it, and like the
improving
game
it.
devs for Cyberpunk did tell Kotaku that their working conditions have improved, but they
Okay,
did
that's right.
start overworking again for E3. So
Oh
they're
my god.
just to just to start it all over again. So honestly, it doesn't mean much because they just keep indulging in crunch that honestly is a terrible idea.
They people in the industry that speak of having unions for developers, and I believe this is something they should do.
I think it's been just in talks for a long time, but I think just about the past year or two is when it started to become okay. Okay, we game devs need to actually unionize and actually get benefits, just protect ourselves and just make sure that we get compensated and everything like that. Because it's crazy that they've been working without that kind of stuff for the past however long gaming started. 30 years? 30,
I
40
know,
years?
no idea. When did Pong release?
I don't know.
uh,
But I'm a little worried just talking about CD Projekt Red in general that they're spreading themselves out a little too thin because I get the feeling it's not just Cyberpunk they're working on because they did work on Gwent at the same time. I don't know if it was the same uh, team, but that didn't do so well. And honestly, it just came out and then people just forgot about it. So
mhm.
there have been rumors that these devs are in a bit of a financial crisis. So maybe
C-
it's been
CD
mismanaging their
Projekt
money.
Red
Yeah,
is in financial crisis.
could be. Yeah,
Interesting. I thought they made so much money from the video games.
I think they did,
Oh,
but yeah,
I remember that uh the offer of the book is asking them for more money. Maybe that's one reason why they're having financial trouble.
could
They're
be. Or
losing
maybe they're
profit.
being a little too ambitious with Cyberpunk because what they proposed for it, like all the game systems in it, it's like no matter what conversation you choose, it will make sure that you go one branch of pathway like in conversation so you never fail quest kind of thing. It's like
Never
no,
fail quests.
there's been no RPGs that have done that successfully yet. I know that RPG studios have said they tried to do that. I don't know any RPGs that have managed to do that where it's like your choices will always be something completely different. Because when I think of that, I just think of like BioWare conversations where it just branches out a little bit and then it goes
Mhm.
back to one point where it leads to back to one outcome or two
I see.
outcomes.
Okay, so they just making too big of a web.
Could be. I think
Okay.
they are a little bit. I think they're
Okay.
starting to overpromise.
Uh, well, we just got to hope they, I don't know, don't crash and burn, release a product, and maybe admit that they cannot do it, and release a product that is still worthy of our attention. As long as they don't lie to the consumer, and be truthful, I'm sure they will be, I don't know, be appreciated anyway for all their efforts,
Yeah,
and we
we'll
will
have
still
to
buy
see.
the product.
Yeah, I just hope they can deliver because I'd love for them to be able to deliver on that product they promised. Because if they can, They could
That'd
honestly
be
pave the way for the next however many years, just so that people make it like those Cyberpunk.
well. Speaking of CD Projekt Red, make paving the way and jumping on trends. They also released a update of their GOG browser thing. You know how there's Steam, there's Epic Store, and some other weird system you gotta use. They coming out with one thing that organizes everything into one. So all the games will link together, the trophies, the friends list. So they're doing that.
Okay, I didn't know
Yeah,
about that. It's
yeah, that was,
GOG Galaxy, right?
yeah,
That's their storefront or client.
yeah.
That's
So
cool.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's another way to like bring everyone together and introduce their store again. So people may just buy stuff from them. I think they are doing a good job in capturing attention. So they just got to go easy and stay away from overworking their employees. You know, that's about it. And I don't mind waiting for, another fucking 10 years for Cyberpunk. As long as it's a good game, I don't mind waiting. I just don't want them to, go bankrupt by trying so hard.
Right. I do think I do think they're going to have to release it within the next 2-3 years, from what it sounds like, because they
Yeah.
need more money.
Need more money. Well, hopefully there's with this new Galaxy thing. Hopefully they'll keep them alive a little longer.
Yeah, well, we'll see, but that's all the gaming news for this week. And let us know if there's anything else you guys want us to talk about or improve on, since this is our pilot episode. So we're going to make a lot of mistakes. So any feedback would be appreciated. But thanks, and we'll see you
Peace.
next week.
Thank you.